Welcome to the Slop Farm. Enjoy the video.
You start by confirming you have high dynamic range source or LOG footage. This preserves highlight and shadow data for the HDR effect. Once imported, set your timeline color space to Rec. 2020 HLG or an ACES variant so grading maps accurately. Make sure to transcode to 4, 2, 2 or 4, 4, 4 to avoid banding. While importing, create a reference still and apply a basic LUT only to normalize exposure. This gives you a consistent baseline before any creative HDR adjustments. You now perform primary grading to shape the dynamic range. Lower lift to deepen shadows, adjust gamma for midtones, and raise gain carefully to brighten highlights without clipping. Once done, add local corrections. Use masks, tracked windows, and gradients to lift faces or darken skies. This creates candled separation between planes. Make sure to introduce controlled micro-contrast and a gentle highlight roll-off so bright areas retain detail. These steps produce the HDR look by expanding perceived contrast while keeping natural highlights intact. You finish by checking HDR scopes, monitor PQ or HLG waveform, and target appropriate peak nits. For example, 1000 nits for mastering or 400 nits for limited displays. Then apply a display-specific output LUT or tone mapping to ensure highlights compress correctly for target screens. Once satisfied, export a high bitrate HDR master and immediately create an SDR downmix using a tone mapping pass. Troubleshooting tip: if banding appears, introduce subtle temporal noise or increase bit depth/transcode to 4, 4, 4 to remove posterization.
Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if we helped you today.